Hello boxing fans, today I'm going to talk about Carl Froch versus Andre Ward. This is the big one, the Super 6 final. Okay, I'm going to sum up what they've done in the Super 6. Obviously we'll start with Ward. Ward is a good boxer. He first beat Michael Kessler in California, Oakland of course, for the WBA super middleweight title. Problem was, well, it was a great boxing match. I mean, it was good boxing from Ward. He showed he had good footwork, good speed, limited power, good boxing ability. He was technical. He was really good. Quite slick. Problem, he was dirty as fuck. He was dirty. He reminded me a lot of Bernard Hopkins, and I don't like Bernard Hopkins, so I've really realised I'm not a big fan of Andre Ward. Next on the bout list was Alan Green, who was the replacement for Jermaine Taylor after he bitched out after losing to Arthur Abraham. Alan Green wanted to be in the tournament from the beginning, but he didn't really deserve to. He'd never been in a good fight, and he continued that by losing every round against Andre Ward. Surprise, surprise. After that, he went to Sakio Bika, who was a replacement for Andre Dirrell, who we don't know what happened to Dirrell, do we really? We still don't know. Who took a sucker punch, let's say, from Arthur Abraham while he was on the floor, and that lasted anyway. But back to the fight. Sakio Bika came in, he actually had a good attempt, he kept it quite close, every round was reasonably close. At the end the judges' scorecards were very wide. I had it quite, well, not as wide as that. I had a 15, 115, 113 to Ward, and I think that would have been a fair assessment for the whole match really, because Andre Ward didn't really impress and Sakio Bika made every round really close. But moving on from that as well, then there's Arthur Abraham. He had a good go at Arthur Abraham, couldn't stop him obviously, but he had a good fight, good try, and he showed his skills again. Arthur Abraham had a good go, but once again the judges' scorecards were quite wide again. I don't know why, they just were. Anyway, all fights were in California. That's another talking point. He's having all his fights at home. The last fight is in Atlantic City, and it's still in America, so it's a home fight really. And then I guess we're going to move on to Carl Froch now. So Froch, he first beat Andre Dirrell narrowly. That was a close fight. Dirrell didn't try to win it, so I've got no problem giving it to Froch. You have to beat a champion, and Dirrell did not prove that he could beat him. He just ran away from him all night. Got no problems other than that though. Second was Michael Kessler. This was another fight where Froch didn't fight up to his level he could do. All of his fights had been like progressively getting worse, you might say, since he won the world title, and he's the type of guy who needs to lose to become better really. So he lost that fight. It was a really close fight. I mean, every round was like one or two punches like scoring the round. That was the difference, but it was a great fight. You show that fight to anyone who wants to watch boxing because it was such a good fight. After that, moved on to Arthur Abraham. Arthur Abraham was supposed to be the guy knocking him out. Arthur Abraham didn't do shit. Once again, Froch done an absolute boxing critique on this guy. He just put down everything. Froch was the man. I can't believe it. That's all it was. Froch was so good. After that, he beat Glenn Johnson. Glenn Johnson wasn't bad. Glenn Johnson came forward all the time, kept all the rounds close, and one of the more talking points was the 114-114 scorecard, and that's going to be what's going to destroy Froch off in this next fight. It was shown that it doesn't matter who gets who wins the fight really, because the guy, even though Froch was better and he was winning a lot of rounds, they still seemed to give it to the American-based fighter, which I did not understand. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, who knows. So now I'm going to get into who is going to win this fight and how. Right, this is how I see the fight going. I see Froch in the early parts trying to make his height and reach advantage work, and I see him having pockets of success. I also think that if Andre Ward tries to lead with the head, which he will do in the later rounds, I expect him to bring the uppercut into play. I think that'll be, and considering that's Froch's signature move, I think that's going to be a very good point. The only problem is Froch gives away the speed, the movement, and most importantly I think the hometown advantage. Well, not hometown, but home country anyway. Okay, I'm just going to address some of the levels of nut-huggery for a minute. There's people saying that Andre Ward cannot lose this fight, he's invincible. Well, he's not invincible. Anyone can lose a fight. He could walk straight onto one of Froch's punches and then it could be all over. Why is that? Because we don't know what Andre Ward is like. He's never been truly tested. He's never had a bad part in his career where he's had to really dig deep and hold on. And this is probably going to be the fight where we'll find out what he's all about. You can't say that nothing's going to happen to him, he'll be all fine, because realistically, we don't know. We do not know yet. He could have a worse chin than Amir Khan, but we don't know because he's not actually had to face anyone outside his hometown yet. He's never had to give anything away yet. He's actually given away his little hometown advantage for this fight. He's given away the power in this fight. He's given away height and reach for the first time in this fight. The only problem to that though is, for some reason, I just don't see Froch winning this fight. I think he can win it. I don't think it's impossible. He's got to hope that Andre Ward becomes reckless and tries to jump in and walks onto a few punches. And I think it's possible that could happen. I just don't see it happen, if that makes sense at all. I mean, Froch it can box as well, so it might be a really close fight. In fact, I expect it to be a really close fight. And I expect the judges' scorecards to be really good and fair after the last Showtime. So we say farce with Marez and Agbeko. I think that the whole world's watching this to see if it is fixed or if it's not. And hopefully the better boxer wins. And the better boxer right now is Andre Ward. But the more liked boxer is Carl Froch. So just to clarify, even though I hope this is wrong, I think it's going to be Andre Ward by unanimous decision. Froch has got too strong a chin to lose by knockout. There's no way that this is going to be a knockout. And if there's going to be a knockout, it's going to be for Carl Froch.